Yes, you need a physical, valid ID. No exceptions. Bye, dmitrineilovich. This got long. Sorry. TL. Doctor at the end. I work as a dispatcher clerk for a towing company in a popular Northwest city. For instance, if they have the temporary replacement ID from the DMV and the photo of their current valid ID, assuming everything matches, I'll let them use it. Or if they have an expired one in hand and a photo of their current one, again, assuming everything matches, I'll let them use that too. Last night the clerk at our other location called me to verify that a photo of the ID on a phone was not sufficient to release property. I confirmed that for him. He told me that the vehicle in question wasn't even at his location, but at mine, and that the customers were told by another employee the day before that the photo of the ID would be sufficient. I looked in the notes for the call and saw that they had spoken to that employee, but she had put no notes in stating that she gave them that information. I reiterated the policy and he told me they were coming to my location. JFC. They arrived after an hour, insisting that the clerk they'd just spoken to told them that the photo was sufficient, which I knew to be bull stuff. Then they fell back on the previous story that the other employee yesterday said it was okay. I felt this was some kind of scam. But giving them the benefit of the doubt, I said, I'm sorry, the other employee gave you incorrect information. I can't accept just a photo of an ID. I explained the exceptions that I could make. They immediately began screaming at me, calling me a liar, and threatening to call the police. I told them to go right ahead and call the police. I pointed out that a bank would give them the same answer if they tried it there. I was given no explanation for why they had no physical ID. They went out to the parking lot to wait for the police. And after about an hour, this was not a priority call, they finally left. Not more than an hour later, I get a phone call from a different woman asking questions about our next auction, which was later that morning. I answered her questions and then she asked if a photo of her ID was good enough to get a bidder number. I told her that a valid, physical, government-issued photo ID was required. She asked if a Costco card would work. We have a contract with said city to tow vehicles that are improperly parked, have been in an accident, were stopped for DUI, or were stolen. Sigh, I said no. She hung up the phone and then called right back and said, what about my doc ID? I was confused. Doc? Department of Corrections. I said no. That's only valid for the period of time you're actually incarcerated. Hard no. She cussed me out and hung up on me again. TL. Dr. Entitled People attempt to use insufficient ID to conduct business and get pissed when told, no. When towed, a vehicle is taken to our lot and stored until the owner comes to get it. Or it gets auctioned. It is our responsibility to safeguard the vehicle and its contents until such time as it is redeemed or sold. On occasion, a person will decide that the vehicle is not worth paying the impound fee and will abandon it. That's fine. That's what the auction is for. They will often ask to get their property out of the vehicle before writing it off. No problem. The law, and our policy, states that whether redeeming the vehicle or getting property out of it, you have to show proof of ownership. We have registration information for most vehicles in our lot, so we know who owns it, whether or not it was recently sold, and to whom, if reported. So we always ask for ID so we're not giving someone's vehicle or property to the wrong person. Most times we're given a driver's license. Occasionally I'll get a passport, tribal ID, or non-driver's state-issued ID. Those all work and 90% of the time there's no issue. The other 10% is when someone tries to use just a photo of their ID on their phone. Nah, not happening. It's too easy to Photoshop nowadays. And besides, I have to scan the code on the back of the ID. There are exceptions I can make in the case that someone's ID has been lost or stolen, and all they have is a photo of the ID.